Welcome to The Explainer. One of the biggest headaches for any large company is IT complexity. So today, we're going to break down how a real giant in the software world is trying to solve that, moving from total data chaos to automated control.
Okay, so to really get what the solution is all about, we have to talk about the problem first. And for pretty much any big organization out there, it all boils down to one word: complexity. Just overwhelming complexity.
Look, in today's market, speed is the name of the game. If you're not moving faster, you're basically standing still. Or worse, you're falling behind. This pressure to innovate, to get new stuff out the door, it's not just a nice-to-have anymore. It's table stakes.
And how do you get that speed? Well, you build this massive, powerful, and incredibly complicated IT setup. I'm talking about a mix of everything, right? You've got your cloud stuff, your on-prem servers, even old-school mainframes, and now the edge. And here's the crazy part. All this tech that's supposed to make you faster, it often ends up creating so much friction that it slows you right down.
And every single piece of this system is just spewing out data, logs, metrics, alerts. It's a non-stop flood. So imagine you're on the operations team. You're just drowning in all this noise, trying to find that one single critical alert that actually needs your attention. It's exactly like finding a needle in a haystack, except the haystack is also on fire.
So this is the exact battlefield that companies like BMC were basically born to fight on. They've been evolving for years, moving from just managing legacy stuff to having this big vision for a totally autonomous future.
And I mean, we're talking about a company with some serious history here. They've been in the trenches for over 4 decades, managing the most important mission-critical IT for the biggest companies in the world. This isn't some startup taking a wild guess at the problem. These guys have lived and breathed it right alongside their customers.
And you can hear that vision right from the top. The goal isn't just about keeping the lights on with what you have today. No, it's about using AI to pull all those different pieces together, the cloud, the mainframe, all of it, and turn them into one single intelligent system that works for you.
So this leads to their big idea, their North Star really, the autonomous digital enterprise. And the key thing to get here is that this isn't just about making IT run a little better or a little cheaper. The real goal is to create a business that can move at a speed and scale that is literally impossible for humans to manage alone. It's about turning IT from a cost center into a real competitive weapon.
Okay, so if you've been paying attention to this space, you've probably heard the name BMC, but you've also probably heard BMC Helix. So what's the deal? How do they fit together? Let's clear that up.
All right, think of it like this. BMC software is the mothership. It's the 45-year-old foundation with this huge portfolio that covers the whole enterprise, AI ops, DevOps, you name it. But now, BMC Helix is its own independent company. It's like the specialized special ops team. They're laser-focused on one thing: using AI for what's called service ops, service and operations management. So one is the bedrock, the other is the elite strike force.
And the mission for this new independent Helix team, it's super clear. It's all about moving fast and getting this next-gen agentic AI, and we'll get to that later, into the hands of IT teams to solve real problems. It's about taking AI from a cool buzzword and making it a tool you can actually use to get work done.
Okay, so that's the big vision, but how does it actually work? Let's pop open the AI Ops Toolkit and look at the actual tools they use to bring order to all that chaos. First up, we've got orchestration. This is all about control. Think about any complex process, like moving data from one place to another. There can be dozens of steps across totally different systems. Orchestration is like the conductor of an orchestra. It makes sure every instrument plays its part at exactly the right time, so the whole piece of music, the business service, is delivered perfectly every single time.
And this is a fantastic real-world example. Imagine you're running a massive fleet of delivery trucks. Instead of just waiting for one to break down on the side of the highway, the system is constantly pulling in sensor data from the vehicle. It uses AI to predict a part is about to fail, checks the truck's GPS against nearby service centers that have the part in stock, and boom, it automatically schedules a repair. What could have been a super expensive, service-disrupting emergency becomes just a cheap, routine maintenance stop. That's orchestration.
Next in the toolkit, visibility. And this is based on a really simple rule, right? You can't manage what you can't see. So this tool goes out and automatically discovers and maps everything in your environment: your cloud instances, your physical servers, your software, your containers, and more importantly, how it's all connected. It gives you a complete, living map of your entire IT world, which is absolutely critical for everything that comes next.
And finally, the really cool part, prediction. This is where AI Ops truly flexes its muscles. It takes those mountains of data we talked about earlier, and it uses machine learning to figure out what normal looks like for your system. Then, it can intelligently spot when things start to drift from that normal baseline. This means it can find a root cause of an issue and flag it for you before it gets bad enough to actually impact your users. It's about getting ahead of the problem.
And get this, a 90% reduction in all that distracting event noise. Just think about that for a second. Think what that means for an IT team. It's the difference between running around with a fire extinguisher all day and actually having the time and brain power to work on new projects. It lets them stop reacting and start innovating.
Okay, so the tech sounds impressive, but does it actually deliver? Does it work in the real world? Well, the industry awards and business results seem to point to a big yes.
I mean, just look at what the industry analysts are saying. You've got Gartner naming them a leader in orchestration. Forrester puts them at the top for AI ops. GigaArm for cloud observability. Across the board, these aren't just marketing claims. This is serious third-party validation that the tech actually does what it says it will do.
And at the end of the day, it all comes back to the business payoff. This is why it all matters. Taming that IT chaos isn't just a fun project for the tech team. It delivers real, tangible value. You reduce security risks because you can actually see what's going on. You make your teams way more productive with automation. You save money by optimizing your infrastructure. And, most importantly, you deliver better service to your customers by preventing those frustrating outages.
So what's next? If we've gone from doing things by hand to using intelligent automation, where does it go from here? What's the next frontier for managing these crazy complex systems?
The future, it seems, is agentic. And this is a really cool shift in thinking. It's the evolution from automation that just follows a script to true autonomy, where AI agents can actually make decisions. So imagine a whole team of specialized AI agents, each one watching over a different part of your IT world. They're proactively looking for needs, automating solutions, and just making things happen, all without needing a human to tell them what to do every step of the way.
And that really leaves us with this one big question. When tech like this gets good enough to handle all the background complexity, it does something amazing. It frees up people. It removes the noise so your teams can actually focus. So ask yourself, what could your team, your most talented people, achieve if they weren't bogged down by all that noise? That's the real potential here, and it's a pretty exciting thing to think about.